by the farmers market area, and they're planting corn. And here they came back in fall, almost all the same Beaver Scouts. They came back to harvest the corn in the fall. Beaver Scouts meet every week. They start in September. They end sometime near the end of May. They tend to run on themes, or they do run on themes. So share, share, share. They learn about cooperative play. They learn about the outdoors, and they learn about themselves. And Pirate Night is a favorite. We're in the dirt, summer and winter, so here they are in the workshop at the Egg Society. The Egg Society's been great for, very generous in helping us with the location when we don't have one. This year I have five sections running, and the city was able to cover us for 3 of those. And then of course we have the situation of, the schools need their gyms during the week some nights too, so we get creative. Our colony likes to build. They go on lots of field trips. They go on weekday field trips. They go on weekend field trips. They go on a Saturday a month. So here they are. I'm not sure what the construction is. Angus, do you know what the builder is that?
I think that's birdhouse.
You can see they have tails. They have tails on the back of their hat. The white is the 3rd year Beaver Scout. The blue is the 2nd, and the brown is the 1st. Whether they're Beaver Scouts or Rovers, which is the adult age, 18 to 27, they can start at any age. So Beaver buggy races, those are a lot of fun. They're actually a little beaver on wheels that goes down the track, and it's all about participation. So with the outdoor activities, what's fun in the summer, of course, is also fun in the winter. So we're outside. Spruce Grove has a beautiful participant. We take advantage of it weekly, and our school's back onto it, and that gives us the opportunity to be able to get out on those trails. So swim up. Our Beaver Scouts move up to Cub Scouts in the ceremony, and that reflects the journey. So they're starting at the one end, and they're about to go under the river banks. So the beginning and the end of every meeting brings all the beavers together at the riverbanks, and they reflect on why they're there. And at the end, they reflect on what they've learned. And so they leave the riverbanks, and they head into the forest, and they become part of the Cub Scout group. Once they get to Cubs, they are to do their best. That's the motto, do your best. And here's a picture a couple of years ago of our uniform that we had for 25 years. And this is a pack, and this is a pack welcoming a couple of new members. Our new uniforms are actually very similar to what they were 30 years ago, except they're cotton now and not wool. They like that. So Wolf Cubs is also theme-based, and it's based on the Jungle Book. So the leaders are named after characters in the Jungle Book, and activities are based on getting out there and exploring. Hands-on, everything hands-on, learn through doing. So here they are doing the hill. So this is the sand hill. If you're familiar with Ernest School Scout Camp, it's out on Longman Lake, and for us in County Parkland, we're very fortunate that it's so handy. We can get out there, and they can accommodate out there about 700 Scout members at any time. Typically, you go out there and there'll be 1 or 2 different groups from different areas in northern Alberta, and this sand hill is something Cubs always love. They like to build fires. They learn all the outdoor skills, whether it's knot tying or building fires. Archery is a big favorite. Our group owns its own bows, and of course we're always replacing arrows, and our leaders are all certified in archery. If they take them out, they have to be certified. Yeah, girls and boys. So Scouts Canada, Scouts and Scouts Canada are boys and girls. Some years we have an This last year, the Scouts also took training at the pool, Fountain Park Pool in St. Albert. So they went in and learned about dipping and getting back in and all of those good things. Rarely happens. They sit pretty still when they're on there other than paddling. So they spend 3 days out. They go out Friday night and then they get in on Sunday afternoon. So this is our troop this year, all in their fine colors. And the troop moves beyond where the pack is as far as leadership in the youth, and then they start doing a lot more of their planning. So this year's group was interested in horseback riding, so they're off to a week's horseback riding in Kansas country this summer. And here you can see we have 3 girls in the troop, and we have Scouter Stephanie there, who's with the girls. They range in age from 11 to 14. They can stay as old as 16 in the troop. So they have indoor games here. We are at St. Joseph's School. These are actually the guys last year. And my husband's been a scout leader for a number of years. He went through Cub Scouts, Ventures, and then he went back Cub Scouts, and he's doing Ventures again. And he says there's just no excuse to be in the gym. They're outside. So here's a lean-to camp. These are pretty fancy accommodations. Someone forgot a tarp on the truck, and my husband had newspaper. He always brings his newspaper to read in the morning, and that was his lean-to, but we don't see that here. That's a good thing. Anyways, so this is lean-to camp with the Scouts. They learn how to build these. They do know how. They also build things like gingerbread houses in the workshop. It's been an annual tradition for a bit. Again, it goes back to learning those skills, building the confidence. So they're learning their knots in the gym there with Scouter Doug. They're practicing them because we're out whether it's cold or not. And then here they're having fun with their knots at camp, this winter camp. The number of camps they go on, it depends on the leadership and the resources. To take a group out camping, it's actually more expensive to take beavers than it is Scouts. Because the Scouts go out and they build their lean-tos, and they eat a lot, so their food bill gets to be fairly high, probably $35–40 per youth going out, but they can camp basically for free where they go, whereas our beaver Scouts require proper lodging. And they go on adventures like Fort Edmonton. The group went to Fort Edmonton this year, another one of our colonies. We have 2 colonies. They went to the Edmonton Valley Zoo. They stayed there overnight. And then they all went to Lincoln Camp, which was up in Long Lake. Challenge our adventure Scouts. So everything is a challenge. They're to challenge themselves to grow as individuals. They're to challenge their outdoor skills, and they're to challenge themselves as community members. So here's a couple of our venture Scouts a couple of years ago, and these are the hoodoos out by Hinton. So they are raising their money and planning their adventures and executing them. Here's their idea of winter shelter. It's a Quincy. I wouldn't go in one, never mind sleep in one, but that is what they do. So that's why it's cheap for them to go to camp. So this last year we had a new company start, and it's called a company because they are to run as a company. They're to raise
for letting the female census go?
When they opened up Beaver Scouts, which was age 5 to 7, which would be, I think we're coming on 30-something years now, it's mandated for the safety of the children, as most of the policies are, that a parent always goes with the beavers to camp. So because some families didn't have a dad, then the moms were allowed to go. Well, if the moms are allowed to go, why can't the moms become leaders? And if the moms are leaders, why couldn't you have the girls there? And if girls are in Beaver Scouts, why aren't they in Cub Scouts? So in Boy Scouts of America, they maintain Boy Scouts of America and they developed Girl Scouts of America. And in Canada, we went co-ed. And yeah, so that's why there's girls. Yes?
What is the relationship between scouts and guides?
The relationship between Scouts and Guides, actually, we share a founder and we share the basic, I would say, principles, right? So we want the kids to learn by doing. We want them to experience the outdoors, and we want them to be active members of the community. And we want them to take leadership on where they go and what their community does. So we share that, but as far as sharing any administration or that, we don't. We're separate altogether. Is there anything else? Girl Guides' structure is different. So Girl Guides' Spruce Grove is its own district, and there would be like the first guides, the second guides, the fourth guides, the fifth guides. There would be sparks, and all of those different what we call sections come under the Spruce Grove Guides. We're called the 4 Spruce Grove Scouts because we were the 4th group that was founded, and we were founded in 1976. And so we have all of our sections under us. We're the only one other than the second. And the second, Spruce Grove does welcome people who are not part of the church. They only offer Cubs, Scouts, and Ventures, and they don't have girls. So that helps. They're governed by their bishop. Each church acts independently.
Okay, so there was no other questions?